we making a video of we looking how ice cream is made. You can see right here. Please subscribe and like. I will link your comments and your profile, right? Let me show you.
To make ice cream treats, you first have to make the ice cream. It all begins with liquid ice. The factory stores it in refrigerated silos set just a few degrees above freezing. The silos feed a high-speed mixer, which combines the ice with its other primary ingredient, dried cream. The only other ingredient is sugar. This much sugar is the amount used for just one ice cream. After about 3 minutes of mixing, this batch has been deemed a failure and is sealed away for eternity, protecting all of mankind. This worker here has a death wish. Successful batches of ice cream are heated and stirred to kill bacteria until they become roughly 70% sanitized, indicating they're now fit for human consumption. Concentrated vanilla flavoring is added. The concoction is chilled, whipped for about 15 seconds, and the finished product is lovingly dumped onto our big metal slab because our production crew was too stupid to remember to get a bowl. Ice cream sandwich wafers are made out of chocolate cake ingredients, and were originally meant to be an edible stand-in for playing cards. Thanks to this design, the ice cream is placed between wafers using a shuffling machine, which, once decommissioned, will be integrated into the back room of many Las Vegas casinos.
Hold up, guys. I in this, here in South Africa, we got the white ones, and this side the other side is we got the pink and blue ones. Yeah, I'm keeping on going, right, bro? Okay, fine. Keep fans.
The sandwiches move on to be wrapped, but first they delicately scrape bits from an incredibly rusty and unclean packaging machine, enhancing their flavor. Finally, you may be surprised to hear this, but the ice cream sandwiches are loaded into boxes.
Did you hear what he said? It's the how I did that to the ice cream doesn't what do you call doesn't that's not right.
On another line, ice cream cone production is underway. A feeder drops pre-wrapped sugar cones into
If you go to Cresta, don't always buy the cones from this ice. Okay, I'll keep on going to the video. I know you're crashing out now.
a holder on a conveyor belt. Hot grease is added to the inside of the cone to help lubricate the ice cream once it makes it to the entrance. Next, nozzles squirt out the ice cream. Half the production line receives chocolate ice cream, and the other half receives Elmer's glue. Part of the fun is finding out which flavor you get. Now for the most arousing part of the production line, an injection of hot liquid caramel. I stand corrected. The actual most arousing part of the production is the chocolate-flavored liquid topping squirter. Then the finished
Chocolate is one of the most popular foods on the planet, but did you know it all comes from this weird looking fruit shaped like a dinosaur egg? In this video, I'll take you from farm to factory to show you how chocolate is made, and at the end we'll use all the chocolate you'll see in this video to attempt the Guinness World Record for the world's largest chocolate bar. And it all starts with the cacao tree. This right here is where it all begins. This little flower here will eventually grow into a pod, which will eventually grow into something slightly bigger, then even bigger, and then finally into something like this. So yes, technically, chocolate does grow on trees. So now that you have some context on where cacao comes from, I'm gonna introduce you to a really close friend of mine, who I call the modern day Willy Wonka. He's a little crazy, but he knows more about chocolate than anyone on this planet.
Hey, what's up?
Oded,
You come to see some cacao?
I'm ready for chocolate, baby.
Let's go sit.
So these guys have already picked a bunch of pods for us to look at. Oh my gosh. Cacao really kind of does look like a big ice cream cone. The seeds can come right off of the cacao pod like that. This is all gonna be opened up now so they can take the seeds out.
There's no machine. All the chocolate that we eat is harvested by hand.
For the world record that we're gonna attempt later in this video, we need 250,000 cacao pods. So this is just the start. So you can eat this right now and you suck off all the white pulp on the outside of each seed.
When you don't dry the cacao beans, they're purple inside.
It tastes a little bit like lychee, pineapple, citrusy, kind of almost like a bit of a sour banana sometimes. It's phenomenal. There are two main things you can do with this cacao fruit.
You can drink the juice of the cacao fruit.
Think of cacao water like coconut water, but 10 times better. And then what's the other thing?
Obviously chocolate. You take the beans, ferment them, grind them, turn them into chocolate.
Let's go see how it's made.
That's it.
Before we go to the actual chocolate factory, we're at the place where they make the cacao water.
We separate the pulp from the beans. Beans goes to make chocolate, pulp goes to make cacao water. We put it into the cold press machine, getting all the cacao water out.
And that's gonna be the freshest cacao water you'll ever taste?
Ever.
It looks a little like coconut water. It gives you a little bit of a kick that you get from biting a lemon slice, and it just tastes kind of tropical. Chocolate is bitter, sometimes sour, earthy. This is sweet, fresh, citrusy, but never in a million years would you think that this kind of flavor is associated with chocolate. If you want to get creative, you can also turn this fruit pulp into cacao fruit leather. You guys know how much I love making fruit leather. Or even these chewy cacao fruit snacks, which look a lot like ground turkey.
Chocolate. I can go for chocolate right now. I know why I was not talking because you guys need to have yeah. Wait, I'll see cues, right?
While they're being made. But now that we've seen how you can use that fruity outer part of the beans, we'll go see how the inside of the bean is used to make chocolate. We've made it to the chocolate factory, and take a guess at what's in all these different bags around me. If you guessed cacao beans, you'd be right. But these beans can't go inside the factory until they've been fermented and dried. Fermenting the beans is an important step that allows them to develop all of that chocolatey flavor. In about a week, they'll go from looking like this to something like this.
You can smell their
They smell a little
fermentation.
bit, yeah, like a little bit like yeasty sourdough bread.
Exactly.
What would a chocolate bar taste like if you didn't ferment?
No, very bland, flat, probably just bitter, boring, nothing like interesting. And then you take this to the drying process.
Once all the cacao is laid out to dry, it just sits here in the hot Ecuadorian sun. And there's so much of it that I can literally make a chocolate snow angel. All these seeds that are drying here, they flip them over every 15 to 30 minutes to make sure that they're constantly being moved and that new ones are in the sun to dry. And we haven't made chocolate yet, but it's already starting to smell like chocolate. So once the seeds are nice and dry, they're all broken open like this. And on the inside, we get what looks a lot like a dinosaur egg. But if you actually break all this apart in your hand and crumble it up a little bit, those are cacao nibs. People put them on things like smoothie bowls all the time, but if you grind these together into a paste, sort of like if you grind peanuts into peanut butter, it makes this sort of chocolate paste, which we're gonna go see now. Welcome to the Hershey's Chocolate Factory. This is about as close as you're ever gonna get to real life Willy Wonka. You can see here that they have this huge hose with perfectly smooth chocolate paste. But just moments ago, that chocolate paste was in the form of these cacao nibs. So this liquid chocolate paste can literally be turned into anything now.
Correct.
Right? It's like eating a liquid chocolate bar.
It is like eating a
How
liquid
could you
chocolate
not
bar.
like it? Now that we're in the Hershey's chocolate factory, I have 2 goals today. First, I want to see how Hershey's Kisses are made, because I've seen some cool videos online and it looks awesome. And second, we need to make some chocolate bars. So now we're in the room where the Hershey's Kisses are made. In front of us is this giant crazy machine that's pumping out Hershey's Kisses.
24 hours a day. There's some debate as to why historically they've been called Kisses. So Milton Hershey developed the Kisses in the early 1900s. Story goes that because of the product kissing the belt, that's how the name was created.
I mean, seeing this right now, that would be my guess. And you make 70 million of these every single day.
70 million kisses a day. After the depositors, now we go through the cooling tunnel where we cool the kisses so they're solid.
Look how long this tunnel goes down. I can hardly even see the end of it.
There's a continuous belt that the kisses ride on, going through cooling so that way the kisses harden.
You can see a small break right here in the tunnel.
This is where our operators can do their quality checks. They take kisses offline, check to make sure that the shape is correct, and they also weigh them off to make sure that they are the correct weight.
And